Welcome to Nature of Sovereignty. Today's guest is Charlene Fadirepo. She wears many hats as an entrepreneur, namely CEO of Guidefi, which provides financial advisement to small businesses on integrating Bitcoin into a business strategy nimble enough for today's economic environment. Charlene brings years of experience as a former Federal Reserve Bank regulator and now uses this knowledge to help guide the community to live sovereign. She simply does it all. We talk about those ventures, the importance of culture leading Bitcoin adoption, and where the opportunities exist for our community in this moment. An absolute smash. I hope you enjoy. Glad to have you on.
Yep, and I appreciate it. We're in a special time in life right now, and I'm excited that so many people of color that are leading in the space. The team at the BBB is amazing, and I feel like there's just such privilege about doing this work in this space in this moment, and I feel very grateful that I can be a part of people's crypto journey, their wealth journey, kind of their journey to have more agency over their financial lives.
Right. And with that journey, can you tell us a little bit about yours? How did you come to find Bitcoin?
So my journey is really, really interesting. So I'll tell you my background and then the journey. So I'm a career banker, right? So been in the financial services industry 20 years. I was a late bloomer to crypto, which is like kind of crazy. I studied engineering undergrad, so I did my senior thesis on electronic payment systems, which is bizarre, right? So I've kind of been in the space for a while on the tech side. I left engineering, went into banking, and went into traditional finance. And so I actually think that one of the reasons why it took me a little bit longer to come to crypto is that I had that traditional finance mindset. But I'm also a serial investor. And so I invest I've always been an investor in stocks and bonds. I've always been an investor in real estate. And I came to crypto because I just saw what was possible, right? So like I said, crypto late bloomer, I think I've known about it for a while. I remember actually had a discussion about crypto at my my cousin's funeral, right? We were sitting around the dinner table. And so one of my cousins is like, "Hey, Charlene, what do you think about crypto?" And at that point I was at the Federal Reserve and I just was like, scam. I remember thinking to myself, I should have a better position on this, but I didn't. And I was very focused, very linear in terms of my thinking of the financial markets and how they operated and what was right versus wrong. And it wasn't until the pandemic, incidentally, where I actually had a chance to take a step back and pay more attention. And when I started to pay attention, I began to kind of see what was happening in those crypto markets. I think my husband and we made our first investment in early 2020, right? I always feel like the BBB folks, they've been in it since 2013. So it's a little embarrassing. Yeah. We paid $6,000 for our Bitcoin. I'm very happy.
That's a good price. Yeah, you got it at a great price. Yeah, you're fine.
By the time we came to Bitcoin, I was confident enough to take a position, like a real position. So thankfully, all that run up all made sense. We took a position, and then from 2020 up to now, we were able to continue to kind of double down on our commitment for our family. It has been a wonderful ride for us, both financially, but even kind of from a social perspective. And I know we'll talk more about that. So when I found the BBB, it was a game changer for me.
That's awesome. And it's never too late because I'm the same way. I heard about it in 2012, but it took me about like 4 years. Understanding the concept, just like reading the news here and there, trying to understand, okay, if this works, I support it. Like the foundation, the ideology, the principle of it always struck me. But it took me that time to really go into it and like, all right, I want to commit now. So not until like 2016, 17, that's when I said, okay, I'm going to put some stake in here, put some stake in the game. So those we tell people, and even today, right now, it's getting close to 50K again. You're still early. Trust me.
Right, right.
When you look at
That's
the
so
stock to
wild.
flow ratio, and there's only ever going to be 21 million that will ever be printed. And what I tell people is like there's 46 million millionaires on planet Earth right now. There's only 21 million Bitcoin. There's not enough Bitcoin for every millionaire just to have one. For every million, it's mathematically impossible.
Yeah.
And that kind of gives context to where we are and what moment in time we're in.
Yep, absolutely. And I think about just, I think as I think about my banking career, for me, I've always been about economic empowerment. I've always been focusing on uplifting the Black community. Crypto for me is just, it's an amazing pathway to financial freedom. And
Mhm.
it's so clear to me. And it's one of those things that we just have to tell more Black people about it. Again, in the traditional banking industry, when I worked at the Fed, I actually went to the Fed because I felt so compelled to do something about
Hmm.
the inequity that I saw in the financial services industry. I was actually on Wall Street after the crisis. And so,
Oh,
I
okay.
remember how broken the system was and how crooked, if you will, like some of the actions were. And that for me,
Sure.
that was so disheartening as a career banker. And I said, wow, there's just got to be a better way. And so I went to the Fed. I actually worked in a group um, that was focused on fraud, waste, and abuse at the Fed. I had a good experience. I know a lot of Bitcoiners have their own feelings about the Federal Reserve, and I understand those feelings. I completely understand. My experience, there were a lot of people, their hearts are in the right places. Maybe they're not using the right tools. Maybe they don't have the right tools, but their hearts are in the right places. And so I decided to become an entrepreneur because I felt like in private industry, I'd have more tools to help people. And that's what I left. I left the Fed, gosh, 2019, and decided to become a full-time entrepreneur.
Wow. So it wasn't you who had the finger on the print money machine.
It
That
wasn't
wasn't
me.
you.
I was trying to fix it. I was like,
They weren't like Charlene, press the button.
no.
Another
That's what
4
I
trillion,
did. I'm
you know.
like, everybody that's Black is getting wrecked. What
Yeah.
are we doing? I think when I was there, so I was in a bank regulation role, and so I was looking at these policies, the antiquated policies that in many cases just reinforce the discrimination that we see in this country. Antiquated, discriminatory, and racist bank laws that have been on the books for years and years. And it's I mean, there's so much work to be done. And I just think that everyone has to pick their place. I decided my place was kind of outside of the regulatory bodies, and really as a private sector entrepreneur.
Right. And that kind of found your way into BBB. Right.
I did. So I remember I joined Clubhouse on January 18th, 2021. Right. So I remember my
Okay. We're
first
very
room.
similar because I started early January, maybe January, like the first week in January, January 5th or 6th, something like that. So around the same
Yeah.
time.
And
Mhm.
my company is Guidefi. One of my employees said, "Hey, you need to join Clubhouse." So I said, "Okay, no problem." I joined in a BBB room. I heard Lamar, and Lamar is just mesmerizing and incredibly
Oh,
inspiring. And I said, "Yes." I think
mhm.
I was in that room for like 6 hours
Great
straight.
orator. Mhm.
Yeah. And I just said, I get it. I'm in it. Like, let's do this. And from that point on, I just, I mean, it was incredible. I think I was spending at least 6 or 7 hours a day on Clubhouse. And
Those were some heavy
I want
times.
to
I know I was
sleep.
spending most of my day on Club. I was like, oh, I gotta get
It's
this is
crazy.
taking up my day.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it
But
was great conversations, and you're learning from the smartest people in the room, in their industry. And the beautiful thing about BBB is that we're not a monolith. Like we have
right.
people and expertise in all parts of the industry. So we have the traders, we have the more philosophical bent, we have the more humanitarian. They want to work with different countries or
Mm-hmm.
work with neighborhoods in America. The education, people who have classes, who people will help you on your taxes. So we
Yeah.
there's every sector that's being filled with an expert who's a part of BBB. and it's from people who look like us, from our community, who speak like us and who communicate like us. So that's one of the things that I found. I was like, instant connection.
Yeah, the Black Bitcoin Billionaires is like no other organization I've been a part of. We are the smartest, most humble, most down and amazing men and women on Clubhouse, and I'd say in the crypto industry. I am always inspired by the level to which people just give, right? Their time, their energy in the back channels, on emails. We're just so focused on uplifting our community. It's so special. You don't see that, there are not that many, examples of when you bring people together from all walks of life and how it can work so seamlessly. Everyone always said, "But do you know each other?" I remember until we went to Miami, we had not met each other,
No, that was the
which is
first time. I was like, oh,
beautiful.
Charlene.
Exactly. I mean, you can't, if we had tried to do it, we would not have been successful. It was a completely organic. We all kind of see the world the same, and we see that we all have a role in uplifting our people. And that is beautiful and special. And I'm just, again, I feel very grateful to be a part of this. I am happy
Same here.
and just excited about where it's going.
Right. And about that uplifting, we have a couple of initiatives that's coming out. I know you recently posted about the BBB demo day that's coming in September, and that's pretty exciting. You care to share a little bit about that?
So I know I will have to say Lamar is spearheading this, but I will say
Okay.
Demo Day is kind of like another extension of BBB. So, Lamar has such a huge vision for this organization, and part of it is to support entrepreneurs. So the Demo Day, I think there's been some pretty generous sponsorship that has come toward the club, and the Demo Day event is to support entrepreneurs that are doing the work. And I can't think of a better look. We have 124,000 people in our club. Some of them are amazing entrepreneurs, and it's just a great opportunity for us to support their work and to elevate them. We know that people of color get less than 1% of venture capital and private equity. We know that. And so this is a way to use Bitcoin to help buoy those companies. So I'm excited about it. Like, it's incredible. The impact we've been able to make in such a short amount of time, it hasn't even been a year, is incredible. But I think it's a testament to that when you're doing God's work, favor shows up. I mean, I am a Christian woman. This is very much a part of the work that we're all called to do. And I think that favor that we've experienced as a group, it has nothing to do with us. I think it's everything to do with God and making things move, moving mountains for people that want to do His work. So,
Right. Yeah, no, that's very exciting. I know that's coming up in late September, I want to say. And there will be uh, sponsors who are there. There's angel investors, VC investors, and you can apply. If you
yeah,
have your business, you have your idea, you have your pitch ready, and it's literally a pitch session in front of investors. So to have that opportunity, and as you were saying, that many of us, a lot of times, we don't have those doors of access available to
yeah,
us, right? Because there's always who you know, and meaning a friend of a friend. But this is the first layer of just opportunity,
yeah.
and we be able to walk in the door and pitch our ideas. So anybody who's interested in that, definitely apply and take advantage, because we have that opportunity here.
Yeah, and I think
um
the link has
yeah,
just
go
been
ahead.
posted on our website,
Yes.
blackbitcoinbillionaire.com. And so, yeah, it's going to be amazing. And in our community, we have lots of great ideas, but it's just access to the capital and the opportunity to make those ideas just flourish. And so I agree with you. That's why this is so important.
Right. And it's not so much domestic as well. You're working internationally.
I am.
I know you recently had the Twitter Spaces. You worked with Bernard Para. I actually had him on too, Nature of Sovereignty. So with Bitnob, and he's great. Also working with Ray Youssef from Paxful. So the BBB and Nigeria connection, it's there, and
It
it's
is.
strengthened. It's only building.
It's so there, right? Just as crypto and Bitcoin spur economic empowerment in the United States for Black Americans, it's doing the same thing in Nigeria. And so, and I've always believed that we need more connectivity between Black folks in the US and Black folks abroad. I'm a Black American woman. I married a Nigerian man. And so I kind of live in two worlds. So kind of everything that happens in Nigeria is very much top of mind. I have extended family there. So I'm always paying attention. I was excited to create this Bitcoin in Nigeria series for a couple reasons. One, because to your point about Ray and Bernard, there's some amazing folks doing the work in Nigeria. And I wanted to celebrate that and kind of amplify those voices. And unfortunately, if you think about crypto, it can be very narrow and not so diverse. And so,
Absolutely.
that's why I think this series that you're doing,
We saw at the conference.
right.
Yeah, it was visible.
I mean, like,
Yeah.
I think there were like 20 Black people there in Bitcoin Miami. That's crazy. The voices that are amplifying are important, and who we amplify is important. So this conversation is so important to be on record. I want to say we were here. We are here. We're working in this space. We have the expertise. We know what we're talking about, and we're building businesses in it. So I wanted to, Bitcoin in Nigeria is an attempt to kind of amplify the voices, particularly the Nigerian voices, people building companies there, solving their own problems. And I think that is so similar to what we're doing in the BBB. We've got to build our own table. Like I'm tired of waiting for people to ask to give me a seat. It's time to build our own tables. And for the folks that are building tables, let's celebrate them. Give them their flowers. Let's not wait till someone else gives them an award. Let's acknowledge their work and celebrate them. And so that was the goal behind it. And I'm excited about it.
In terms of transaction volume, Nigeria is only second to the United States. So there's a youthful population. They are digital minded and they're entrepreneurial. So it is a bed of innovation that's happening right now.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many factors that are contributing to this revolution that we're seeing. To your point, I think Nigeria is, number 3 in terms of Bitcoin trading volume in the world, right? And Nigeria is also Africa's largest economy with 200 million people. Almost, I think in the United States, we have 256 million. So a lot of people, when we think of Africa, or African countries, we never really put it in perspective. But they have the trading volume and the magnitude and the scale that rivals the US. And to your point, the median age in Nigeria is roughly a population. It's roughly like 20 years old. The population is largely young and hungry. All these reasons. And then there's a backdrop of, I guess, government intervention in the crypto markets and and police brutality. All of these factors are just creating, I believe, fertile ground for innovation for crypto. And so, and what I'm most excited about is fertile ground for Nigerians to start their own companies in crypto, not necessarily for them to wait for a Western company to decide that Nigerian is a significant market worth investing in. BitNob is so special to me because they didn't wait for the West's validation of being a market. They saw Bernard's story is awesome. He saw the trading volume, he saw the need, and he fixed it. And so I'm excited about celebrating him and some of the other folks in that space. I think we will continue to hear about Nigeria's pushing Africa forward, focus on Bitcoin and crypto, and really hopefully uplifting the entire country and even the larger continent to a better standard of living for everybody. So I'm excited about that.
That's awesome. It's very hopeful and promising. And we have to continue this collaboration and building this network out, this BBB network internationally.
Yeah, I want to
it's a
have
beautiful thing.
delegation. I'm going to put it out there. Like, I hope there's a BBB delegation. We can go to Nigeria. We can partner with some of these companies. We can start training and just trying to make crypto a lot more palatable and easier for people to grasp and understand. So I'll put it in the universe.
Right. Yes. Speak it into existence. If people want to get in touch with you and be a part of your Clubhouse rooms, uh, where can they reach you and learn more about you?
Yep. So lots of places to reach me. So on Clubhouse, I am, I think it's at Charlene Fadirepo. So I use my full name on Clubhouse. And on Twitter, you can always grab me at Charlene Fadirepo. I actually have a website for my, it's all encompassing for all the things that I do. It's charlenefadirepo.com. I am on Clubhouse, nearly every day because I'm so committed to the work of BBB. And then, I
Tell us
have,
the times that your Clubhouse
oh,
rooms
actually,
are.
it's on
Yeah.
Clubhouse. So let me tell you about my rooms. So I do
Yeah.
Wake Up with Bitcoin Basics for Beginners. So I'm a part of the morning show that we
Hmm.
have on BBB. So we take beginner Bitcoin questions and really have a really good time. We do that Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. I also do the crypto scam and security mindset room. So we have that Tuesdays at 6:30. That's a really amazing room. That room has just grown. We actually came up with the idea for that room because we began to notice so many people coming up talking about all the scams that they were getting hit by. So we created a safe space for folks to talk about and share how these scams were occurring and also learn about how to protect themselves. How to protect their wallets, how to protect themselves from scammers. That room is an amazing room. So if anyone is relatively new to crypto, I encourage you to come to that room. And then the other room that I lead is Teaching Bitcoin to the Babies. And that is where we talk to parents and grannies and aunties about teaching Bitcoin and cryptocurrency to kids. That room is so special to me because, we're working so hard to build all of this wonderful generational wealth. But what good is it if we haven't shared and prepared our children
Passed it
to
down.
accept
Yeah.
and protect that wealth? So that room we have on Thursdays at 4 o'clock. The first half, we typically have a topic. The second half, we actually bring kids on stage. We allow kids to ask and answer Bitcoin and cryptocurrency questions. It's a special space. And for any parents out there that are trying to get their kids started in crypto, just do it. Come to our room. This is one of those spaces where you can absolutely learn together. You can learn with your child. I have an 8-year-old and a 2.5-year-old, and they're actively learning about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. They listen into the rooms, they answer questions, and it's been a really great experience for us as a family.
Wow. So we have 3 rooms. So there's no excuse. You can find
No
time for one of these
excuse.
rooms to pop in and get some education. Well, Charlene, you're definitely leading this digital revolution that's happening, and it's from people like us and who care about our community. So that's number one. So if you want to get this information, yeah, we can go out to different places, but it's nothing like receiving it from one of ours. And we can talk about it from interpersonal level, a day to day, what's actually happening in the neighborhood and how we can set up our families for financial wealth and wealth generation. So I appreciate all the things that you do.
Thank you so much. Can I mention one more thing?
Please do.
Okay, one more thing. So I guess when I'm not on the BBB, I do have a company called Guidefi. And so what we do is we connect people of color with financial advisors and financial education. And so I think that's so important. And it very much fits with BBB because what we find is that folks come to BBB, they get started on their crypto journey, but then they realize that there are other pieces of their financial puzzle that they haven't built out. And so Guidefi, I believe, is a great service for folks because if you need to have life insurance, if you are you need a broader financial picture, if you need help with your budget, we have a set of culturally competent financial advisors and coaches around the country that are used to working with Black folks that are ready to work with you. And so financial coaching and advising isn't for everybody, but traditionally, it's really hard to find a great one, and we're committed to ensuring that people can find whatever financial professional that they need. So I just wanted to mention that because I think it's so important. Crypto and Bitcoin is amazing, but we got to also make sure our entire wealth picture is complete. And so hopefully the Guidefi service would be helpful for folks that would like that support.
Guidefi. You heard it. Go there.
Guidefi.com.
Get your money right. All right.
Exactly.
Thank you so much, Charlene. I appreciate it.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ian. Thank you for doing this. I appreciate all the work that you're doing with us, and onward and upward.